map now as they've tweaked their comp.
This is one of the maps that these two teams
Yeah, MIBR on defense, G2. One away on attack.
13-8.
No raid
G2
boss.
win here.
Dude, MIBR love a raid boss. No raid boss on this one.
For them.
I mean,
Another
Aspas
shot
is just drooling over towards
at a
middle.
trophy.
And that crucial top seed heading into Toronto. Aspas meet drone. G2 though very heavily concentrated on the
That
outside of the map.
was
Wide
insanely
swing from
committed.
Shenneman. He's punished for it.
Yeah, it was an
Looking for that
insanely
info
committed
again. It's
swing.
like Haven all over again.
I thought it was going to be just like a little jiggle
Jaw
here,
comes
but
down. That is going to cut Artesine out of the action. You better believe Jaw's already got into a commanding position. Pounced here by Hell. Now reposition over towards Jen.
Couple connections from that 0 point, but Jonas still just has that full kit array. Initial pop flash thrown into
Death
heaven.
start of the game. Currently tied in fast bloods, 37 to 37.
Device util at door.
Hey, nice,
Already delaying on top of that. Artesine can't
Yeah,
move
you're
through
doing
that.
the maths.
Arc Rose triggered yet again. Artesine low, has to peek out. Needs to try and extract something out of the round. And Aspas is set up on heaven. Verno's gotten deep over towards Jen now. Jaw has a lot to look at.
They
Goes
ain't
down, but
getting,
some good
this
damage.
defuse.
Time is a big problem, and of course, ever reliable Trent delivers a death blow. Verno's got nowhere to be.
Didn't want to give him an extra openness as well.
Give them another orb by swinging out.
4-3 on
Even
the
on a pistol
pistols.
round.
4-3, 1-0.
You can just see the dense amount of util that G2 are able to throw around the map to keep retakers stifled. It's too overwhelming.
Jeez, I mean, Shannon just walks that.
Yeah, that was a curious moment. He really took a wide swing on that. That was not a jiggle peek.
All right, we're feeling chipper. Spirit high in the G2 camp. No hand to forehead this time for your boy Josh.
That was the happiest I think we've seen Josh when we
Yeah,
his
he
cam,
looks, by
honestly.
comparison, he looks
Yeah,
elated.
pistol's always nice. Like the
Nice
most
football
important
taken.
rounds, really.
Aspas on the catwalk with Sheriff. Dash available, wants to take
He
advantage of it.
dinked him
That
though.
was
waiting
a
for it.
dink through the wall.
Yes.
G2 are waiting for that.
It's a little unlucky.
Now, mid-control. Should be elementary. Shannon
Oh,
also
that's a
step
ding
up.
through the
He fell
wall
back
also.
down. He is low. And
Oh.
here comes Jaw to finish what he started. Easy cleanups.
It's going to keep going with it.
Probably no
MIBR.
intentions of going
And
back.
lovely
They're just
little
going
jump
to
on
run
this one as well.
through tree.
Okay, some free damage for Trent there as he
Yeah,
sprays
I'm
it on down.
worried they
Verno
might
feels the
just
pinch.
run away with this a little bit.
Two Bulldogs, Sheriff.
Because it
goes
feels like
to
on
go to
defense,
work with.
MIBR need to get
G2 have it locked
Aspas's
down
op.
pretty early.
They haven't saved enough for it.
A
So
lot of pressure
you at
on
least don't see it
MIBR
first by
to
round.
perform in this lower final. This is where they got knocked out of the kickoff tournament. Against Sentinels, they lose the BO5 3-1. They do not want to exit this tournament in the exact same fashion. They know they've gotten better since then. We've seen that they've improved so much since then, but the competition has remained so stiff. I mean, G2, they've really
it should have been EG. They
not
just
skipped
messed
a
up
beat,
a
I
little
feel,
bit.
while Sentinels have ascended to a
That
totally
11-11,
different
42
level in this
is
last week or
hard to
two.
forget that one.
And MIBR definitely felt the onus on them to step up to that challenge. They don't want to exit this stage with another third place finish.
Is the EMEA
heard
playoffs
good
next
Pezzy
week?
say.
Yeah,
We're not just
some of
thinking
them.
about Masters. We want to dominate this region and then the world.
Oh, that's a great shot.
This team is the hope of Brazil.
The best they've looked in a long time.
Now we
Getting
wait.
onto their first bye round.
Maybe, if you're asking for the EMEA
Against the
finals, you got to wait
G2
2 weeks for
bonus.
that. I think it finishes on the
Outlaw.
18th, maybe.
Okay.
Hands of Leaf. Classic Leaf Vice on attack activity.
And a lot of opportunities to put it to best use.
What's it? 4th?
Big pings down mid.
Finishes on the 4th,
There
finishes
is a
on the
vice wall
18th.
there. Interesting spot for it.
Nuts.
Peeks onto that angle. Goes Aspas. Dare swing! Oh my god!
Oh god, the timing
about
was
as good as it gets.
insane.
Then Aspas, again, just doesn't look back at explosions,
That's
apparently.
a nice
Off to a
shot.
different part of the map,
He's
this time
fast,
resurfacing in mid.
instant rotate as well. Does not need to peek on this one.
That
He
was
was kind of
carnage.
tempted, but he doesn't need to.
I am stunned at that. We'll need a replay on that in .25
Dude, the internal
XP,
clock
please.
to, put,
On the
to
angle
pop
with
his
the
dash here was pretty nice.
Could have gotten more, but
Nice
Frono
shots
just
as well,
picks it
everyone's
off for a
in.
switch.
Down mid.
Hey, that's a
That's an
convincing
important
round,
round.
man. The
And
shots
clean,
that were on this
clean
round
gun
is
for
disgusting.
MIBR. As Aspas kills 2 birds with 1 stone early.
I saw their undoing before my eyes. I was having a vision of the future where Aspas is swinging out into 5 players, dies, and then they get bonus rounded and they get flattened on this map.
They were lined up.
Instead, that happened. And Leaf, I think, got the shot off with the Outlaw, but it didn't connect.
Spike down.
Oh my word, man.
In the words of Esports Doug, the moon was in, or Mercury was in Gatorade, and the planets aligned.
What?
Had to give him credit for that one. You've never had Mercury in Gatorade? Good for you. Pop-off king.
G2 are trying to get into B main, but they're being slowed down by missiles from Inferno. That's a great flash over the top. It's going to force him back to switch. He's isolated.
Inferno waiting for the next wave. It comes in soon enough. Then they've got to play around this Vice wall. That may have been triggered just now. It's going to be an element you have to deal with. Razorvine also starting to clear, and now they've checked this. Should be 1 ping off the 0 point. And I think seeing Leaf there is probably the least surprising.
The Waylay, yeah, the Waylay was kind of nice, their info. Again, they used the Waylay, probably some of the best we've seen.
Smoked off.
Just admit they kind of got antied pretty heavy in that Sentinels game.
Damn near in the defender's spawn.
Mid control for G2 opens up a multitude of options. And Cortezio is playing accordingly. And the shield wall is still there somehow. In we go. Light speed for Jaw. And up on that short, you're going to be looking for Cortezio. Arcro's out there.
They kind of got to get
on Cortezio. This allows
between
Jaw
them.
and Co to get in. Now MIBR's 2 anchors have to
There's
go
one.
ham. Not a bad start.
Well,
Here's
ain't
Valen
enough.
digging them out of position.
Just overwhelmed by the numbers
So-
of G2.
They should just try
Able to scale
damage, lock
together
him in.
effectively down lane and stairs at the same time, putting those players mid-sight in a
Yeah,
vice.
should just be holding this forever.
No early round joy for Aspas this time around. And I'm thinking he's running
See,
short
I
on
think they're
options.
thinking about
Shannon
their own econ
barely
too
even
much
considered
here.
drifting over to assist. So MIBR without too much care economically, able to build up a lot after a pretty ridiculous flawless. Can sit back on this, bide their time, but bear in mind this is G2 that are
The
getting
save
some
here
really
might mean they can get double up
important
though, I
early
guess,
attack side
back-to-back
rounds.
rounds.
This Waylay-led strategy. Not a position you want the attackers to get into.
Aspas would have been happy to take some fights there, honestly, to try and deal some additional damage. Despite being down 3-1 there.
TMV told me Waylay was dead.
G2.
Yeah, he likes
Like I said, yeah, they're
he
trying
likes
to
to
dig
spread
it
the
for the long game,
misinformation.
but 3 rounds handed over to the attackers.
Sheriffs aren't good in pistol rounds. Clove's not an impactful
Often
agent. We saw Ye
The
win
duty of the
multiple
entrant
rounds.
is jumping in and dying,
What
so
else
the
we
rest of your
got?
players can scale on either
Paper X
side
aren't going to go on a run.
find the kills on the defenders.
We
Just
saw that on
non-stop.
Lotus, right? Especially with the Neon. Jet, obviously, you have a
Hit off the
contingency
hit.
way to get out.
Right, Aspas has picked up the Operator. I am really looking for him to get some more value with this gun. They've been putting it in his hands constantly. He's flashed off that angle, forced to retreat back to Gen. Triple stack up here for MIBR.
Yeah, much more than just a one-way to play with there. G2 really spent util making sure no one could capitalize.
Now, in the meantime, there's a stealth drone sent all the way up mid from G2. And you can see
Euphoria,
him
thank you
insert
so
himself
much.
Over towards the Market Tour Pizza area.
Maybe.
Shield wall
Thank
drawn
you,
out.
bro.
A little bit of a nervous moment there. Convergent pass coming into play, and here comes Jaw.
Oh.
Moving fast as heck, but Werner's able to stop him in his track. Shenum, though, stunned up in that
Oh.
corner.
Oh my god, dude, the aim here is nuts.
Exactly what you needed, but
Are
guess
we on
who
for a
comes
1v5?
knocking?
Oi,
The
chilled.
Aspas cut down, and Leaf finds yet another one. Round is still
Little
alive
jump
for
spot to
G2,
get
but
info as well.
Leaf somehow has to go absolutely bonkers.
Okay, hold up.
Oh my god. Had a chance
Whoa.
with Shenum.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
Leaf on 3. Trying to show up the youngster Verno.
This would end the game right here.
Time started to become a concern. 33 seconds to play with. And these MIBR players are hoping
30
to play
seconds
together,
left.
but Leaf might have a timing to slip past. Radazine checks
God.
this for info. Little shoulder out now from behind. Leaf knows he's going to get pushed. Not to be.
Goodness.
And the pure stopping power of Verno on A allows MIBR to scrape
1v5
another
starting with a knife
Wanna
would
see
have
what
been
happened to
incredible
Vega
though.
After those convergent paths were used, Jaw was able to get in, but no one else could. I suppose there was that special delivery
Incredible
there.
shots though.
The precision with the Vandal, lethal from Verno.
I mean, this is kind of the issue with Waylay. It was discussed on the desk, right? She can't always fight for herself straight away after getting in. Needs pretty tight spacing from the rest of the team
And also, there's no cloud burst for that waylated.
Exactly.
Okay, now it gets interesting. Aspas gets that up out. Again, they saved in that earlier round, so he can actually do this multiple rounds in a row, even if he loses this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 people can't buy next for G2.
They have to know. The 0 point tagging a Jet on catwalk. G2 definitely going to play carefully around that. Steel Guard on used over a beat is now they're getting coming in, and there's Aspas. An unlikely scenario to extract the kill, but that's what he does!
Spike.
Somehow Jonah's not ready. Who could be? Fallon with a stinger. Gets his. And finds another one. He actually upgraded to the rifle all of a sudden. G2, they thrust down the middle of MIBR setup.
Oh, that's a nice throw of the spike.
This
Throw the
position's
spike.
no longer relevant. It's no longer
They handled
terrifying.
this well, though.
Shenum has to
It's
fight
a
for
big
himself,
kill,
and
though.
Jaw
Super
goes
doable.
by the wayside.
Aspas changes
Turn into a
gun, but
mental
gonna get in
situation.
first
Leaf
since this
has
wall
worked
gets
his way
triggered.
into market. Shenum, far more HP, but if he doesn't clear the corner, it's going to be a free kill for Leaf. But he's ready for it. Headshot.
He's aware.
2 versus 1. Valen backside.
Valen gets
Both players
smoked.
from MIBR running down lane.
Cerebral cortex swollen like a beach ball. Valent's got a
Nice shot, Span.
Shenum just
My
deals with him
goodness.
handily, in fact. And now the defenders.
Dude, some of the
start to
shots
build
in
up a
this
bank,
map so far are
start to string
insane.
these rounds together.
Impressive work from Shenum.
Really clean.
Aspas with the operator there, not to be
People are
denied.
getting way
that.
too good at this game.
Initial shot onto Trent was fantastic. And then Jonah just focused on pressure that was coming from the spawn. Surely he won't be jumping down and flanking me with the op, but he does just that.
Like you note, they spot him out really early with that 0 point. But I guess they just assumed that he's holding a passive line and they've already
Yeah,
started
they just
past it.
assume, yeah, that he's like back in tree basically. That he didn't.
Desp, I don't know how you can
he
talk
actually
after
pushed
Sage
in
performance,
front
man.
of the thorns on the ground, but they assumed
Sometimes
he
you gotta
was
look
behind
inwards,
them.
man.
It's certainly more likely he would have been. But
Assuming makes an ass pass out of you.
Spending too long looking outside.
Come on, bro. I get one.
I chuckled. I chuckled.
Jaw hit pretty deep towards that CT side. Now that Util getting concentrated towards the boathouse. Jaw steps up, knocked down straight away. It's the stinger buy for G2. Quintessential. At this point, MIBR are conditioned to it.
No real opportunity to get a shot off with the op. Cloudburst to safety, wants to get back on the angle. Cortez on the swing, but it doesn't matter.
5 health, yeah, not much to work with. Valen, a little stranded
It's
without
a good,
an upgraded weapon either.
spam from Verno there.
What is the plan?
He got
Spike
2
recovered,
with the classic.
55 on the clock. And he's headed in a direction with no weapons to recover.
I mean, he's got a lot of time to play with.
Do tell, Valen, what the game plan is here. We're circling back through mid.
Just wants to go through Cat.
All right.
This spike down over on A.
There's a caution ping there over towards grass.
Could try to get himself into a closer position.
Shenum is flush with Util here, Wyatt.
Where does he want to go? Play hell, force them to swing onto
So
him.
it's going to be so long until they start going over towards site.
A lot of
He can
scenarios
be
here going
anywhere.
up against a Tejo that's going to
So they
opt to
definitely got to
use the
smoke
missiles in
off
hell.
A main,
And
I
Valen
would imagine.
doesn't even have the ability to TP out of it. Paranoia for Gen. That's cleared. And I use air quotes.
Verno, evidently.
It's actually, he actually has a really good chance.
Valen waiting. Biding his time. Stinger. Oh, they line up! Are you kidding me? Valen!
Dude, how is
like
Leaf
Mojo
even made
Jojo
this
out
possible
there.
to begin with, though?
Punches
Is
his
this a
ticket to another
2v5?
winning round. A winning round that should not have been.
What a disastrous retake in that 2 versus 1. Positioning completely scrambled. I mean, he gets there in the first place because Leaf goes crazy with the classic over on the B side.
Jake! What is that?
I knew it! I knew it! You like that play, Cortez?
To put in
That's funny.
context, that was off the back of what Leaf did early in the round. The classic. Doesn't make any sense.
Feels like absolutely
that's
none
such a
of
good
that should
clip.
have happened. Not one bit. MIBR still have enough money to buy up here, but their economy is fully on the line. Aspas with that operator.
Still low money check right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
For a bit
3.
of info. Jaw! Yep, we're getting out of there.
4 as well.
Quick refract.
It drew the crosshair away from Shenum, and now Verno can't even
Yeah,
trade
there's a
because he's
big
obscured by
distraction
the
with this
smoke.
one. Valen
Where's
gets
the
the
stall?
kill
Util
as
left the
well.
controller down so early in
That
the
might
piece.
be a
Now,
save right
yeah,
here.
A is open.
Oh,
Come right on in, they say. Cortez is able to find Trent towards the middle part of the map so that, post-plant Util drastically limited.
Leaf is ready for this. If Cortezia can win this fight, there's a chance at this retake. It's really the only opportunity.
Good steps. Still guarded. Leaf says,
It's forced into the sight line.
Aspas gets there. That is wild. Just a pixel of it, might suggest. Valen again in hell. Surely not twice.
Round 2.
Not again.
He might actually do it again from here.
Razorvine
I think
deployed.
A-main needs to
He's
just
on the
chill
edge
the
of it.
whole
Here
time.
comes Verno now, hunting. Blood in the water. He can taste it, and there it is. Valen dealt with. Jonah P on the site, riddled with holes. This time Verno's able to clean up.
I think there
Man,
Valen
this is
needs
set
to
game.
let the two on
It's back and forth
site play, but I understand
Cortezia
trying to
came
bail his
off huge,
teammate out.
finding that initial kill on Trent.
Was it Valen or was it
then from
Jorgamo?
there,
I can't remember. No, it was
So
Jorgamo,
heads
right?
up for him to just take that jiggle peek onto Leaf. This was a cool way for G2 to get in.
Yeah, this is a nice little
Shenum
distraction.
just forced to look to the left. And then Aspas in this moment, because of the steel guarded, Leaf had to force the issue and run a Cortezia, so he exposes himself to the sight line. That was a really
I actually
cool
think
play.
Leaf was trying to counter Steel Garden. I think he was trying to use one of his own. From the animation, he didn't pull a weapon out. It's unclear.
Okay, set round. We got a knife that goes
way.
back a sight.
Aspas was waiting for him. He was cornered.
Double flash combo from G2 to get into B main, a paranoia.
Wow.
And from the KO, Aspas just
Too many of them got hit by this knife.
on that shot. Jaw to get away.
Defenders still in strong positions though. Jaw and a stinger. Stingers for everybody. Steel Garden now for Leaf. Held onto it the previous round. Artazine trying to back away. Caught up. Snarled in the liquid metal roots. And Jaw gets 2. Pushing out towards CT, but no, wrong weapon in hand
That
apparently.
is haphazard to say the least. Throws his life away.
Oy.
2 players with stingers remaining for G2. Leaf is trying to close the distance, get on an angle that he can play nice and close. Both G2 players are just completely separated from each other right now. It looks like they want to try and get into a position where they can swing off
I wonder
each
if
other.
Verno's got to use ult here.
Aspas into main. This is awkward for Leaf. It's not a good spot. Look at him adjusting. He knows.
Oh,
Someone
that's
could
nice.
backstab.
Love pushed
He
him
had
on
the
into
info.
this.
It's just too many angles to account for.
Valen's picked up a judge now.
Getting ahead of that Verno util. Paranoia doesn't seem to matter. Bam! He mows him down. Aspas though, low health. Valen has got himself an
Super low
upgrade.
health.
Looking for the clutch. It gets to half.
No
Valen
way.
biding his time, not respecting
No
the
way.
fact that Aspas might be on that stick. It doesn't matter.
Oh, dude. Aspas nearly owned him with the full
Valen runs
stick.
it back again. All faith put in him by G2 and he delivers.
The 1v2, if that wasn't enough for you.
1v3 with a judge
how
as
about
well.
a little 1v3 as
The
well.
classic.
Just within a 3-round span, picks up the judge that was dropped, gets in the dark cover. That is so
Look
cheeky.
at it. He times it out perfectly.
Happiness.
It's a great
Always.
He's,
Fine.
la
On the face.
he's
It's a
laughing
great
and
angle.
then
Just
coming
play
that
by
he's
step
sticking
games
it.
as well.
It's
I mean,
funny.
Josh knows what he's doing. I see you, bro. You ain't fooling me, brother. Didn't like heat. Pull them sleeves up a little bit. Pause here because, yeah, sleeves up all across MIBR. Frog now in their ears. It's important to take stock at this point and note that G2 has just scored their 5th attack side round. On a map like Ascent, that is such a huge boon. And MIBR now have a round where they have an L command to work with. That could be pretty important to stunt those fast hits that G2 might look to play off. Again, the pace is definitely more up-tempo than the Yoru comp split.
It certainly has been. That Waylay.
You too? Yeah,
factor in
they're
that.
just their stingers are so good, so their
going
low
down
buys
bad
are
by
always
coming
a
into this,
nightmare.
So that was a round. Should
I also
be
feel
on
like every
board
time they have a
G2,
low
should be
buy
able
and
to
they
get
have
6
a
100%
Vice
I'm
ult.
more than happy with getting on
Don't know
the
for
Ascent
sure,
attack side.
but they definitely always use it in
next
the
buy
low
round,
buy.
might
I
go
feel like
down.
their win rate is insane
Ready
with
to
it.
go with the initiator
It's
ults.
it's at least over half,
Aspas has
which
had
is obviously very good
sick
for
rounds with the Blaze
like
Sword
low
in this
buy
series
ecos.
so far. Might just rip that right now. See if they can't turn the tides on this eco round with a couple kills. And he will.
Up to the races. Straight past the one, mate. Disrespected as G2 know. Got a real gun advantage here. Artazine suppressed 4. Caught by that
I
0
honestly
point. They're still
think
going
it
for
might be too
Armageddon
many
could be a
rounds
bit of
as
a
well,
wreck on
and
the
that is an
plan, though.
incredible
Put him out of the way.
tail.
Not
Oh
quite in
my
time. There was
goodness.
Verno with the util.
It
And the Blade
was
Storm.
perfect.
I mean, what is this disrespect to MIBR? They've done nothing to deserve it. And this one blows up in G2's
Bold,
face.
man. Bold to use on that eco really worked well.
MIBR to just let all of these ults
The comms were
loose.
pretty good, I imagine,
know
from
Jonas caught left. They
Shannon
know he's low
to just let
HP.
him know
It's
how
just a
many
matter of
numbers there
cleaning
were.
this
Or maybe
up.
there was a
Feels like
knife
it's
that hit
matter
that
of
I
time
missed.
until something connects.
Either way, they got,
Cortezia
like, hard
on
info
the
on
flank
them.
makes light work.
Oh, there goes
Remaining
Gravity.
G2 player.
3-person gun pickup
The
as
way
well.
reality hits G2. They're in a
Knife
best
hit
of 5.
4. Okay, knife hit 4
They're only
into
one round
tail.
ahead. It's a long series. And it's still in the balance.
Verno gets a
Dude, with
15
the
and
salvos
5. I mean, I
either
suppose you
side
also
as well
get
to
2
force them out is a
kills
great
with your
ult.
abilities on that round. Armageddon used.
Nice!
And the missiles were put in the corners that it would have forced players into.
Yeah, a timeout here for sure.
Now Josh,
It was like, boys, what was that?
his happiness,
Yeah,
his
man.
smiles, a distant memory. It's
Maybe-
time to pause after getting ecoed.
Again, like, let's
Maybe not against the
dial it
tail.
back a little bit. They're obviously on a gun round. MIBR sheriffs. They walk past the one, mate, disrespect it. Okay, fair enough. They want pace, but they walk straight into the Teo trap. Verno is always playing that off angle on the A side. He's there somewhere.
His tail, I mean, it's really strong, man. There's a couple of maps. Well, I say a couple of maps. Pretty much feels like every map you got some insane ults.
I just love the guts to go for that on this eco round and not saving it for the buy in some standard situation when you're on a retake. They went for it and they come up huge because they took that risk. So I'm trying to remember when he got the other kills, to be honest. I mean, he's been looking good, but damn, when did he get 15 and 5? That's
I mean, he did drop that 4K on the round that, Leaf got the knife kill.
With a deadlock wall, yeah, you throw it over the top, lock him in.
2 there.
It's the Saint special, that one.
He's been in the mix this whole game. Right, so G2 chastised duly, I'm sure.
And going for the force. Josh has advised them to go for the force on this round.
I mean, they go for the
Look at
fours.
their buys.
They always,
Shocking.
they always
He has
win
a
them.
Sheriff. Trent just has the
Trent has
stinger,
his
Joe has a
own ult. I mean, they got
Look at
great
this trap
ults
though
on
over towards the
this.
B side.
Are they going to go for some kind of convergent paths Armageddon play?
Whoa.
Maybe no, it's just an Armageddon straight up on A. Elite
Tail
finds the opening
ult,
towards
clear
B.
space. They
wasn't
own an
challenging
ult
this.
behind it as well.
Okay.
Dude, I mean, in reaction,
money
I
being
say in
thrown out
reaction,
there
they
by
kind of
both
just
sides. The
instantly wanted to
Benjamins
push
lit on
over
fire.
towards B main.
Scattered to the winds.
Arjun is trying to make some sense of this round. If not for MIBR, at least do it for me. What the hell
Dude,
am I
weird.
seeing, man?
Aspas is going to meet one in
Aspas,
spawn.
Aware that Trent is in spawn, it seems. Should be able to collect that kill.
Oops.
Does. Artson caught by the convergent pass. Straw going to try to capitalize on this push forward.
The hint is pretty brutal.
No, they just can't. They were kept at bay by that molly.
All right, so that's sheer wall was just triggered, so they know Aspas is amongst it. He might be been able to stabilize the round, but still have to fight this retake. Saturate. Jaw headed over towards that speedway, but he does get pinged out by a 0 point. They know he's
That
here.
incredible
Okay,
flash for
or
that
do
Omen
they?
flashback was
shove
pretty
again,
sick
comes
as
through.
well. Lovely little transfer from Shannon.
Rather the paranoia.
I don't know if I want to see the replays of this round.
It's,
I might just want to move on.
Yeah.
I mean, Aspas did
Bizarre
good, Shannon did
opening
good.
across the board.
We are going to see the replay because we must.
Yeah, I suppose we must. Okay, I changed my mind.
Shannon,
I do
he's looking like that. He's
Trap
looking like
play
the
here.
guy
Leaf
in
takes
this map.
this fight against Cortez. He's forced out with the sheriff, but then, I mean, he just leaps out there. I mean,
Yeah,
they are thanking
Think
Art Zin for actually playing
Leaf overstepped a little bit
towards
here.
spawn and just spraying for some kills.
He
with the
really,
Phantom.
really kept a lid on it
Bizarre.
there in CT.
All right, G2. They've cobbled together what they can after forcing that round.
Okay, just a pretty standard fast hit here. This time, Jaw's going to have that back up if they try and go in. He does dash over towards Market.
Oops.
Enough time to get the gun up. It is a stinger, though.
It's not going to refract. He's staying committed to that logs position.
Oh, that's a
Back-to-back round.
mid-push.
He finds an opening.
Wait.
That's the op removed.
And that looked like a
She-Wolf got
nice
triggered,
shot
but it's
though.
going to be TP'd
Maybe
over, so all
Vano
of
has to
G2
go
can
3.
be here at B.
Yeah,
There's the
well, that's
last
around
layer
that.
of defense
But they got
cleared
6
from
on
that side.
attack. Considering what we saw
Bizarre
against
rounds.
Sentinels, you would
Hard to
imagine
predict,
that's
hard to call, but
enough,
bloody
but
exciting. And that's Shannon after a high-octane sequence of plays.
I guess they're up against a Jet though, so
low
it's like
octane
Yes, I would
death
say
awaiting him.
will be laboured. A flawless round for G2 to end the half. We're keeping it close here.
Switching sides.
Absolute bloody haymakers being thrown by both sides.
Some bizarre final few rounds. What is that kill?
oh dude, I missed
Oh,
it.
he's quick with it, isn't he?
And then Cortezia was caught with the flash. His position on lane was just way too open for players that were going to be swinging out from main.
G2 single-handedly enough this gun,
Eyes towards
yeah.
the future. MIBR must win this map. G2 get 6 attack side rounds.
You're not wrong.
So much rests on the pistol, which we'll be seeing when we come back after this short break.
Must watch clip. You guys trolling me? Let's see. Cortezia collat on split. Let me mute this. What we got? Way late comp. There's no way they had time to change it. Ah, yeah, it's just lucky though, right? Time to. I gotta mute this guy. That's so lucky. Lucky. Cortezia's got to be a headshot. That's true though. It's always a headshot. They do full scrims with stingers? No, but they, I mean they probably DM it a little bit as well. Like they've all just got it down.
Now, it might be 6 attack side rounds from G2 from the first half of Ascent, but it took them a pistol round win, a conversion in the anti-eco, and 2 magnificent clutches from Valen to get there. That's a lot of work.
Even that final round was a bizarre half-buy. I mean, it was a full force, rather, with some bad guns that they win. A strange half of Valorant has left us
Get
at
a lot of
6-6.
hate in the chat for
MIBR's hopes
playing
of making it
DM
to
with
the
a
grand
stinger.
finals, hanging in the
Yeah, I feel
balance
like everyone
of
in
whether or
DM.
not they
Dude,
can
everyone in
win
DM
this
is
map.
annoying, man. DM in
G2
this game
trying to make
sucks, dude.
another
Holy.
grand final. It would be their 3rd in a row.
Like
All
honestly,
tournaments that they
I
played
would
this
probably
year would have them in the
suggest,
grand
like if
finals
you're like
they could
new
just
to
close out
FPSs,
on
I would
Ascent.
actually suggest
This
just
point in the
getting
series, you're
CS just
fatigued,
purely for the DM.
strung out. Sometimes all that
You're
remains
gonna
is that
get
hunger to
way
win.
more
And there's
jewels
definitely
within
an experience
a
difference
smaller
between
amount
these
of
two teams
time.
when it comes to best of 5. G2
Is the
have played
fastest
a
way to get
number
used
of
to like your
them with this
sense and
core
just
team over the
aiming.
years, whereas MIBR just
Double
have
raid
one
boss,
to
one
their
for each
name.
team on this one. We've got a
Lost
free
to
side over
Sentinels in the
towards here. We're
lower
gonna see a
finals to kick off.
5v5 retake,
How
and
much
they
is that
might
gonna
even
matter?
flood. Valen has
MIBR.
flash.
Some pretty complex pistol rounds in the past. This one is very straightforward. Let's go to A. Let's set up. Let's get a plant. Let's hold.
Got those thorns to delay any players coming back in heaven too early from G2. Aspas is weak. Dash across from Jaw.
Unharmed so far. Jaw. Aspas very low though. Just a paltry 10 health to his name. But MIBR being very careful about this. Not overcommitting on the retake, but Artazine steps out
There's
and
no
is
util
shut
left. It's
down.
just jewels on jewels.
Underneath the check hell, Aspas is there, still gets a kill with 10 HP as only he can. But now Verno and
for the
Cortesi have to
HPs.
spam on in. They want to push it. Oh, he's caught with util in his hand. Reef, dodging, ducking, dipping, diving, dodging.
I
There's Trent
see
to finish the
them
job.
from Trent. Did they
G2 with both
finish
pistols
the
on
map
Ascent.
and they managed to get a
That's gonna be
double
weight off the
pistol here?
shoulders.
If they can't do it with 2 pistols, a 1v2 and
Yeah,
a
they even it up to
1v3,
4-4.
man, I don't know if they deserve the map win. If MIBR can run it all the way back, that would be pretty sick.
Zach,
Not
appreciate
even
you.
run it back. I mean, the fact
Thank
that
you
saying
for
this
that, Zach.
game is ridiculous
Yeah,
to
you're not
begin
wrong.
with.
It's a
They
banger.
really wanted to play off of the arc rows that Cortezia flashed.
Dude, Zach, you've been doing
Get
a lot
the
recently, man. Thanks so
Sound
much,
cue,
dude.
obviously, and that's the moment where Artson jumped out.
Nice! Oh, he's hitting this. He's hitting this straight. Look.
But it was Jaw who got that free kill because of their willingness to aggress. And unlike G2, MIBR, not a fan of the second round force after getting the spike down.
Get to the side though, Valen there to meet them. Spectre rings out. Leaf gets a hand on it as well. 3 quick ones. Cortesia's really
He's
forced to look
so
on,
far
paranoid,
away.
And very dead.
He's so
Leaf
far
just
away of a stinger.
Leaves 2 very fast rounds of Valorant, 1 orb away from getting that Steel Garden already. And that could have some massive value on a bonus round versus the full buy. If he can get 1 orb and get that off in a
That's
retake.
insanity.
But
I know they're
looking at the
eco.
other
I
team
know
with
they
the
have no
Stingers,
armor.
That is a
I'm literally
good position
trick
to be
shotting
in.
on them. Good.
How do you have the levity in a game like this to play that way? Only Leaf, man. Again, shot back up to the top of the
20 and
scoreboard.
9. He's
Yeah.
20 and 9. This stretch of games from him has been
Leaf, I mean,
outrageous.
Leaf's just had an
Leaf was
insane series.
the star player in my eyes, of the G2 kickoff run, and I think
He's
he might be putting the
easily
crazier
the
numbers than he was
MVP.
during that kickoff run.
It's not just nonchalance. He's giggling like a school child.
He's having fun.
Yep.
Can you blame him?
I mean, I don't know if it's a long series, I'll be stressed, but I'm glad he has the room to enjoy himself a bit. I don't know if I could say the same for his coach or his fans, but here we are.
So, if MIBR had watched a lot of the demos, which I know they would have, they should know that this wall is over towards mid every single round. So they drone, they take the space, and they're going to trigger the wall. This is something that Sentinel struggled at a little bit, mostly because they got punished early on their bonus. But
Won't get instantly traded, but
a great nade on that.
No chance to get out of there.
Good reaction from loser middle as well. The push over towards the air didn't mind it too much.
Yep, gets himself the Vandal. Here's Trent lining it up now. This is going to slow things up a little bit. And still Jonah is claimed. That's another kill through mid. Jonah hung around, insisted
with that kill as well. Easy call for them to go up short.
Push for MIBR, quite viable. They got across mid, but Valen isn't attending it.
Time is dwindling a bit, but it doesn't look like G2 should be in position to stop this plant unless they really heavily accelerate. Trent doesn't even have missiles right now. Valen trying to hold down this cross, but he just can't do it. Walks into the stun.
Oh, there it is. Trent caught. Valen trades it. Now there's rifles.
They're so good with these guns, man. Doesn't matter what the gun is, they're just end up using that. Like, even if we nerf the Stinger, it's going to be incredible with Spectres, man.
The ability to get
no escaping it.
We just need the backup. This could be hard-hitting, fast play from G2. They're geared for it.
Valen upgrades.
What's he going to do, yeah?
We go! Jorgamo says Geronimo, and it's Valen to trade off.
He got the ding.
Valen with 3.
Ah, bro, that's so unlucky. 21 HP, they give it a really good go. It's an insane bonus for G2.
Through the box as well on Shenum. So finally, someone figured out how to stop Valen in a clutch situation. Needed to happen eventually.
God, he and Leaf again are just running rings around it though.
It's insane. Him and Leaf have a combined.
We used to play scrims only with Guardian. Yeah, we did.
So the rest of his team's 14.
We did Guardian only for Scream and Soulcast. We did Judge only for Raze on Split a couple of maps.
Absolutely absurd. MIBR
we did Yampy, Marshall only because his Marshall could have been a lot better.
A lot of light armor.
That was mostly DM though.
And Leaf keenly aware of the economic situation.
We do a Baki only game. I can't remember.
On that buy, he's got the Outlaw.
Yampa Cypher only.
So
we did Yampy on Cypher, never again. 13 first deaths.
Make some of these concessions and still
we did a lot of testing.
Impact in the round. That is to say, the Outlaw is online for almost everybody on MIBR. Nothing in market, says Verno. Shield wall, though, is lying in wait.
13? No, it was impressive, chat. It really was.
As long as the wall remains in the position.
What was he doing for 13 deaths? Mate, honestly, more aggressive than he was on a duelist somehow.
Oh, the double up here in tree is going to be tough.
He spent like a whole week begging me to play Cypher. Sure, he can have one game. Saw it. Not a chance ever again. I would let him play it.
Just jingle peeking at B main, catches the lurk. Cortesi as well.
Aspas is just unhinged, unchained, and unshackled from earthly delights. He's brought down.
Flash gave him the confidence on this one, forced him down to an eco, and I think this is the end.
Option. The economy
I'm pretty sure.
Thoroughly crushed for MIBR.
10 seconds
Something on the
left.
exit would be nice for him, but there'll be someone to play off of this. Another rifle strip from him. Aspas, the only player with enough to buy, so this is a grim-looking round for MIBR and a chance for G2 to derive one of the biggest leads we've seen in the last couple of maps.
Jonah on that tight angle, and then the jiggle peek from Jaw. I mean, that's just a miserable way to lose 2 players.
MIBR win then.
So much info across
man, I'm telling you, this one's gonna be hard for them.
Peaks consistently, and they have the sheer wall in mid that is never actually being procced until
he knows it.
Serious presence in
Got
mid
that confident nod going on.
Imply a B hit is coming, or B split rather.
Now this might look
How many
like
times did he die with his camera open?
This round 17,
mate, he was using his camera as like a decoy, mate.
Probably the most important of this map.
Dude, I feel like the VOD's somewhere. I feel like Baker maybe still has the VOD.
I
wonder if one day we can release it. It was insanity.
Outlaw still to hand, a weapon that's going to be just as relevant likely in this round than it was in the prior one.
Gotta find
Still
the VOD.
guarded,
It has to be
available
somewhere.
should they be pushed. Valon's been electric as well, 19 and 10. And MIBR, what do they have to hang their hat on? Verno's been the standout, but outside of that, not a lot of bright spots for the hope of Brazil.
What map was it?
When we
Ascent.
get back into this, MIBR, they
Burned
are
into my
going to be
memory.
on a half-buy round. So assuming that G2 win this, which, you know, they should statistically, they're going to be at 10-7. And then on that next round, both teams are going to have almost all of their ultimates ready to go. And that will determine, or should determine, typically, if G2 are going to close out this map, get the win in this series, or if MIBR can actually make a little run at a comeback here and get back into this. Try and get us to Fracture, try and get to map 5.
We got
And
more
G2 disrespect
more
for
A
the thrifty on that
spam.
attack
Omen
side.
ult goes in.
I don't know if they're going to run that back again.
Ooh,
Trent deals with
imagine
Shenop,
it.
does take a face full of damage.
Yeah.
Cutting the attackers down
The
by one.
knife
Aspas is also
though, the
very
knife
low as he
stopped
tries to
the
get on
initial
in.
hit so
One
they could
shot
deal
will
with
be
the
enough.
Omen.
Can't
I
leave
don't know
him
how he's
away with
winning
that.
on 21
How is he
HP
alive?
though.
Not one shot hit there from Valen, that's rough. Jonah though still tucked here. Steel Garden now comes into play. Aspas has the primary jammed. Right click though will do pretty well here, but he's in trouble. Guardian now back online. Up against it though, now hindered out by that Saturate. Leaf brings him down, it's a 2-on-1 for Verno.
Yeah. Right for the
Lightning
artist.
does the strike twice for him today. And there it is, that's a 3-round gap, well and truly opened up.
G2 are playing with serious confidence. I love the way that they're flooding back into the site there together, taking the fights together. They are not easing up. Was seriously concerned for a second when somehow Aspas managed to
nice
get
shot.
that kill at door onto Valen. 20 HP, nothing connected onto him. That was
Nice!
a bizarre little situation, but G2 did not ease up.
Not better than me.
Leaf is still playing with the Outlaw right now.
And
There
still
are
relevant.
It's still relevant. 4 MIBR players, and they're going towards him.
Yep. They're like light armor locked. Okay, Steel Garden to
It's
start things
an
with.
empty site though.
Gets MIBR in. Aspas with an uncontested
It is an
rifle.
empty site.
He's on that B side. G2 playing off foot for the most part though, so no early casualties for the defenders. And the Razor Vine snarl Verno up. He opts to stand in place.
There's that null command. Paranoia now coming through. Cortezia trying to fight close, but he's blinded up.
Got one that's going to have to be enough. Genom recovers and brings Jorgamo down. Low though, he is. Stunned up, pinged out. Now cleared from the corner. He's got no choice but to face the music.
Yeah,
Now it's
but
an
I
even
might
game.
have to ult this, mate.
Null command was active, and here comes
Oh.
that Armageddon straight down Speedway. Verno knows it's coming. Puts it to good use now. Artazine has to
Dude,
take this
Vito's
one.
nice,
Verno
though. You
finds
gotta
Valen
give
with
it
some
to him.
util. And it's the Teo battle. Trent v. Valen!
Ah, that is it.
That is all reliable
That
again.
is it. Right
Clocks.
there as well.
A crucial
100%
round.
secured now.
Gets G2 to 11.
This G2 team are too clutch. All of those
Teo
situations have
diff, another
drifted their
clutch
way
to add.
this map. Whether it be Valen, Trent, it just doesn't matter. I loved how Verno was playing that. After the Armageddon, then getting the salvos down onto stairs. The 2 remaining players for MIBR fight together.
He motions the number 6 with his hands, because that is his kill total right now. But it's not about the raw number of them. Valen and Leaf have that taken care of. That kill, those 2, worth way more.
And now G2
Get out
are
of
in
my way.
prime position to close out this map. MIBR are forcing into this because they got the spike down, but that's resulted in Artsin just having the stinger. He has not been able to get things rolling on Ascent. He's
Yeah,
had a great
they've just
series up
resorted
until
to.
now.
I say resorted to
So
just
really
side
looking
hits.
at
It's been
Aspas with
just
his Blade
non-stop
Storm.
side hits the whole time.
Barely survives the cross. He has been fantastic with this ultimate. He's gotten so many crucial kills.
Here's that attack side null command. It looks like Leaf might have been affected, so that shield wall, yep, it's been nullified for now.
I'm an ult and reaction over
One hurdle,
towards spawn. I mean,
literally.
this should actually be a pretty hard retake.
Jumps by MIBR. They're in the site, but Artazine is down. He didn't have a good weapon for it. He was looking for something. Aspas goes low.
That was scary. Engagement against Valen. Can he actually win this out? No, Valen. Headshot connects. 4-on-3. Advantage retake for G2 to get to match point.
So much pinned on this for MIBR.
where are we
They
going
don't
with
have
this?
the money to run this kind of round back anymore. And there's an Armageddon for Trent. Potentially clear the bleachers off the side. It's going to force MIBR in the speedway direction. Cut down their options to
Force them
fall
into
back.
salvos and
Able to avoid
flash.
damage that comes in, but here comes a speedway push.
Nice shots though.
Power. It's
Not
going Trent
again. Not again, bro. This guy doesn't lose clutches.
Brilliance from Trent. And that's match point. Now secured.
They won't ease up. This G2 team, they are not slowing down. They are way too clutch. MIBR did so much right, and it just did not matter. This kill from Valen is huge to open up B main, get them into that 4-on-3 situation, and it looked like MIBR playing around some of that Vice utility they still had would have been enough.
What a round. What a crucial one.
Hey, 5 chances,
MIBR.
biggest number so far today.
Last chance saloon for the hope of Brazil to get into our stage finals.
They've got another buy, they got the spike down, they're getting the loss bonus.
And they've got to do it without the final boss himself. 4-player squad of MIBR. Now, is it a snake you cut the head off or a hydra? Does another one grow back? It's time to find out.
Every single time retake
One of
over
that B-side
towards
shit
B.
on handles Valen.
Nice,
Jonah falls
though.
quickly, traded out. Now numbers even. G2 with a respectful distance to the site. They're playing off of it. There is a sheer wall in B main by the looks of things, and if this isn't read into, Trent will be on the wrong side of it for a time.
Snappy from
Nice
Jaw,
shots.
so fast, has the convergent paths now, let those loose on the site so the players from B main can get out, and that should seal it up. That should get G2 into another grand finals.
Here we go, trying to get him out. Wait a minute, Arsene stops him in their tracks. Jaw has to go for it now, dash forward, 2 dashes, and it's not enough.
Okay, slow
Lucky
countdown.
IGL
4.
Arsene will keep them at bay for now.
Dude, the problem is at
He
one
has not
point,
been able
and
to
we
make his
might see the
mark on
timeout
this
here, I'm not
Ascent
sure.
map until
They're just going to
that
stack
moment
sites
to
heavy
keep
and
his
just forget
team
about
in
middle.
the game.
Doubles his frags.
And because these rounds have gotten so close, insane shot from Jaw, as was this follow-up that he hit later in market. But because these have just been coming down to the one-on-one clutches, G2 are actually on an eco
We're out of
now.
money.
They're already out of cash. MIBR have an opportunity here to get to 9, but G2, they
of
are
money,
the
but what is
experts
this one?
of the Stinger.
And it's a huge lead for defenders to have on Ascent. Just make that very clear.
Oh.
Cortesia, oh, that's ugly. That's a rifle, just hand it over.
It's a gun to pick up, and there wasn't a fast
MIBR
reaction over
responded. They're
towards
trying to get
A,
into
so
fast.
Waylay's
That's what
now
G2
there.
want them to do. They're playing into their
And
hands.
they
This
got
is where the Vice is set up.
all
Leaves
4
waiting on the other side of the door to
stingers.
greet the magazine, riddled with bullets.
Bro,
Swiss
how's this
cheese
guy
over the floor.
consistently get more
Elite
kills with
goes to work
Stinger?
on them. It's up to Verno and now the Steel Garden
It's so fitting
will
to
take
end it
away
on
his
Eco,
only
it really
advantage
is.
into the round. And G2 recovered 3 whole rifles. He called it by it. The masters of these thrifties, the Stinger
This gun is
buys.
so stupid. But the thing is,
Verno
it's just
again,
like,
so many
it
times
is
before in this
G2 the whole
series.
time making it look
Had to
stupid.
drag himself
There's a
up
couple
the
of other
hill.
players, definitely like
No
C9, pretty good with it as well.
It's all on him. Special delivery backside is there. Leap is low. Dealt with Verno. Finds him, but he's suppressed now. Valen swings out.
Damn, bro,
Yesterday,
nice.
there was a fear that it
Dude,
might
they're still
all
on
be
a
over.
run here.
Today, the
They're still on a
realization
run.
that it's only
They
just
could
begun
still
for
do it.
G2.
They've had to do,
They're headed off to the
they've had
finals
to
to try and
go
get
rough
revenge
route,
against
but-
Sentinels, the only America's team.
And I guess
that
the
has been
map
able to
will
beat them
against
in
Sentinels not
2025.
favors
This is
them,
going to
but
be
they
their
would
third
ban the
grand
same map,
final in
right?
a row. Their
Sentinels
third
is gonna get rid of
opportunity
Fracture
at
as well.
Another trophy. This G2 team are resilient. They feel unbeatable at times. MIBR had come so